this is the official beginning. It's so funny. I could sit up here for hours and teach a class and like be totally in my comfort zone, but it always is a little bit you know, that's good. I always talk about getting those nerves rattled and being excited. It means you're passionate in your care. And this talk is super important because what just happened at Vfit Studio with this team over the last 6 months of 2019 is so huge. And a lot of you here did the 6-month challenge, but not all of you did. And I think it doesn't matter. This is beyond that. Like the lessons that were learned that I'm going to share, I think are just going to be so powerful for us all. And if there's a couple little, again, like anything, maybe not all 10 of these tips are going to resonate with you, but if you can take a few takeaways to continue to improve yourself, right? Because we are all a work in progress. It's a wonderful thing to be, so own it, be proud of it. But this talk is really centered around the 6-month challenge and what kind of from fruition to today, what that journey looked like. And it was hard to pick just 10 kind of key elements, but with much thought and writing and thinking, I think I got the top 10 ones that I want to share. And those of you that did not do the 6-month challenge, what this was, it was a 6-month challenge where each person set a goal, and I'll explain the challenge more throughout these 10 lessons. But we announced this challenge in I think the middle of June, and we had 60% of the Vfit team sign up for this challenge. Of that 60%, and this is why we're here today to celebrate what went so amazingly right. Of that 60%, 90% finished a 6-month challenge. That is, I've been doing this a long time. If you've ever worked with teams challenges, that is like unheard of. So there was some serious magic in what went on in the 6-month challenge. And that is what I want to share. There was also some mistakes, some lessons to be learned, because no matter how it all seems on the front end, there's always a lot behind the scenes that is spinning and trying to work. Look who else is coming in. Hello, Casey, Sina, Mary, Cynthia, Stacy, Mariana, Kelsey, I said Kelsey, Kathy, Anne Marie. So I really want to stick to a 20 to 30 minute time slot. You have to go, this is being recorded, but like I said, 90% finished. And so I want to share the 10 lessons, and throughout the 10 lessons, you're going to learn more if you did not do the challenge, kind of what it was all built upon. And then you'll, I'm sure everyone's going to sign up the next time, but that's not what this is about. The first takeaway, and the reason this challenge even existed, was your best ideas, your best creation, your best next steps in life usually come like not right here, not in your comfort zone, not in front of your computer, not in your house, not in your everyday living. And the 6-month challenge was dreamed up at Idea World Convention last June. I don't know the exact dates, I forgot, Maria can tell me. In Anaheim, I remember Maria has a picture of it. Hold on a sec. It was Steph G, Christine, Maria, and myself around this beautiful water feature at the Anaheim Convention Center. And we were so out of our everyday element. We were at this convention just filling up on inspiration and education. And like we were on our highest level of creativity. And that's where, again, your best ideas usually do not come in your normal everyday space. So remember, step away. We talk about this all the time. Take that trip, get that blue sky time, get out of your normal everyday living. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling lost in that creative space, it was another thing I want to talk about, and Liz, I think you mentioned this in the reset, water. We were around this water feature, right? This beautiful flowing water feature. Water is an amazing conduit of energy. Everyone, if you ask people their favorite places, it's usually a beach or a lake. Even the mountains, right? Snow is made up of water. In the shower, who does their best thinking in the shower? A lot of times your best ideas are done in the shower. So again, we had the perfect environment to create this awesome idea, and that's where it started. The second tip, probably the most important tip, and why Vfit is just on an amazing level right now, besides all of you, the team, the power of a mastermind. And that's why you guys always say, like, maybe I thought of this idea and I started Vfit, but Vfit is about the team and the community. And as a trainer team, there are 8 of us right now. We are like, I always joke, I don't know if anyone does this, but there's an app called Marco Polo where you basically video chat to each other. but we have our own little channel. And if anyone listens to it, they'd be like, you guys are like so crazy in love with each other, because honestly, we are a mastermind. Like, we are pushing each other to try new things, to get out of our comfort zones. I could go on and on about that whole side, but the reason, it started with a 6-month idea, the small little tiny idea. We didn't know where to take it from there. But we left the convention and I said, everybody sit on this. We're gonna push our team for 6 months. Like, I don't know how we're gonna do it, what we're gonna do it. Go think about it. We're gonna talk to Leslie, Cece, the girls that work here, get everyone involved. And for a couple days, we pinged back and forth. And we just shot idea off of idea. So the idea is to be part of teams, or if you're a leader in your own team, your family, your work, whatever it may be, create an environment where people feel comfortable bringing their ideas to you, because I guarantee your teammates, the people right around you in your everyday life, have amazing ideas that you haven't yet thought of that will propel you, right? I only have, like, we all have different strengths and weaknesses. And so when you create this environment, I know, and we all have been here, I've worked for people, places where they do not want anything to do with your ideas. If you tell them anything you're thinking, it is like shunned and pushed away. And that's not a positive place to cultivate the best of people or ideas. So the fact that our team, our trainer team is, I could not think, we even said it on our thing, the dream team, because everybody pushes each other to be better. It's a safe space. You can say the most crazy idea in the world and no one's gonna shun you. But it was from this mastermind group that we had the idea to put people on teams, to do a draft, to have people pick a number, like all the things that worked in the challenge, those never would have just come from me. It took the power of having this open environment where everybody can shoot something, even the name itself. We couldn't even think of a name until we started to like work together on that. So I think that's huge. Make sure you're part of teams, groups where you invite free flowing ideas and inspiration from each other. You can't control it in every area of life, but it's truly amazing. I am part of a mastermind myself. All coaches have coaches. My coach has a coach. So again, being part of teams and having people, and I'll get to that coach part in a second. All right, so next up, this was, and then we'll get into the actual challenge, why it worked. This was a big one. The risk in going big. It's scary. Okay, 6 months in the fitness world is like huge, okay? Not for Vfitters, because you guys are just amazing and you proved that and you prove it day in and day out. But to ask people, I've run a lot of 21-day challenges. I've run a lot of 2-week challenges, 7-day challenges. And those usually had like 50 to 70% success is huge. That's still a big number. So here we are, we have 130 people, over half of the Vfit team signed up for this, and we're asking them to do something really big for 6 months. Are we setting ourselves up to fail? Are we setting up our team to get frustrated, to give up on themselves, to get pissed at Vfit? Like, were the trainers gonna be able to deliver on what we promised? Like, there was a lot of risk involved in this challenge. Can we pull this off for 6 months? Are all my trainers still gonna be here in 6 months? Like, there were so many what ifs. But the one that beat them all, and I wrote this down, the big one, what if this is the best thing that ever happens to our teammates and to Vfit? What if this pushes people that never would have stuck to something for 6 months to find that in themselves? And that risk to be able to better ourselves and our teammates versus all these other risks, it was a no-brainer, okay? So don't weigh your risks. If that one risk that you can do something amazing and something great, and there might be 30 other risks that are super scary, but if that one risk is worth it all, and it usually is, go for it, okay? Whatever it is, I promise you, it's worth it. There's no failing, and that will come later in this, but that one risk, where am I at time-wise? I'm doing good. We're already on tip number 3, and we're 9 minutes in. So we got, get out of your creative space, get out of your environment to make good ideas, be part of a mastermind team, have areas of your life that you are able to truly express yourself and be creative. And like, it could be the craziest idea. There's a risk in going big. What's that saying? Go big or go home, right? We were kind of doing that because to bring that many people along for the ride was a big one. The next one. Now we're going to get into the next 4 or so tips are why the challenge worked. Why we saw success rates out of the park. I'm telling you, 90%, I don't know if there's anything else that has this kind of success. And the reason that it worked and the reason that it was so amazing, first of all, the power of a team. And all of you that did the 6-month challenge know this. And we know this from just everyday life, maybe not even the 6-month challenge. We're okay letting ourselves down, right? We're like, whatever, you can dream up all the excuses in your head, but we're not okay letting others down. And we have to face that, like that's human nature. We're okay sometimes letting ourselves down, but we're sure as heck most of the time gonna do whatever it takes not to let our team down. And so in the 6-month challenge, if you were not part of it, we literally, I don't know where my draft board was, but everybody who signed up, we put into a big bucket. And then we gave each team, this was an awesome part too, we gave each team an inspirational name. We have believe, confidence, inspire, passion, resilience, determination. There was one more. You guys, whoever was on it, like it was my team. And so we gave each team, and each team started with a coach. And we did literally a live, you can find it on Facebook, a live draft where I sat here and picked names, and we just made teams at random. And the way the 6-month challenge worked was you were put on this random team. This will come in a second. You had a goal for yourself for the challenge, and you advanced each month if you met your goal. The team at the end who had the most amount of finishers won. Now this is another lesson that will come up in a minute again. So being part of that team was a huge deal. I want to make sure that I that it's in this point. So yeah, so being part of the team was big for those days that like you would have maybe let yourself go. You weren't going to let your team down. So this leads right into the next part of why it worked is we had written goals. So every teammate had a goal. Your minimum was 9. So you had to pick a goal from 9. I think, Alyssa, you were probably one of the top ones. I don't know. Everybody can make their own goals. Some of them were up to like 40 classes a month. But the key, this was a little trick. You had to hit that number every month for 6 months. So a lot of people stuck with 9 because I stuck with 9. To hit 9 classes for 6 months in a row, I'd never done that. So that was a really good, most of the trainers stuck with 9, and we all the trainers stuck to this challenge too. But everybody had this written goal, and we had little Google, or not little, they're online. We had a Google sheet for every team. And that sheet had your teammate, your goal, everything was out there publicly, right? We know when we write something down, when we make it public. So your team, here you were grouped with 15, 16 people, and you got to see everybody's goal, you got to see your progress, you got to see, you know, it was like you were accountable to other people. So I think that was huge. The one thing I was going to say with that, oh, people also ordered, and I have mine, I should have worn my shirt, confidence. Did I say that? That was my first team. Confidence. So a lot of people ordered team shirts with their team and then their goal number on the back. So again, you've written that goal, and I think this is so important. I have my goal sheet. We showed you guys, we sent this out. My goal sheet for the year, I took online last night, so I'm up to 8 classes. But writing your goals, making them public, huge in any way. And if they scare you to tell people about them, you really need to share that, writing your goals. So we had the team and then the written aspect of those goals, those together, huge, huge, huge. Those of you that did the challenge, you know how powerful that was. And then that brought us to the next part, coaches. The trainers were the coaches. So every group kind of had a set leader. Some groups naturally, actually some of the members stepped up and became the leaders. And that's something we really, really want to develop going forward, is having you guys kind of rise up and feel comfortable to cheer each other on. That was actually something we were quite surprised that many people held back. And there was only a couple teams that had some people rise as leaders, but every team had a coach, so we always had a trainer. We rotated every month, so each month you got a different trainer as your coach. And we, and my trainers that are here, we did everything in our power to keep people. We texted them, we called them, we emailed them. We tried our best, right? There's only so much your coach can do for you. But Alicia's laughing. She's like, yeah, I got the text on the 28th of every month. No, I'm kidding. But that extra coach watching over you, that is huge, you guys. Make sure you have people there to help push you up. All of these kind of flow together. But that having that coach, having that trainer there to stay on top of you. And some of you are like, oh, I didn't even know who my coach was. Maybe you didn't need them some of the times. You were so on top of it that you stayed, but we were sending inspiration. We made playlists. We really challenging on the coach's side. I definitely think there was a lot of growth, we would all admit. In every group was so different, and because we changed groups every month, it was interesting. Like some groups did great responding to text, some loved Facebook, some liked email, some liked nothing, some liked everything. Like it was really, really interesting every month. As a coach, here we are with a new team, and we have to figure out like how to jive with this team. And so that was a really big thing, kind of getting outside of our comfort zone. The idea behind that was that as coaches, we can get to know groups on a smaller basis, because you know, it's hard to know everybody. And so if you're working with 15 or 16 people a month, you get to know your teammates a little bit more. So like I said, I have a coach in my own in my business life. Like having coaches is not a bad idea ever. What you invest in, you're more likely to succeed and achieve with. So that is tip number 6. All right, everyone's gonna like this one. Who doesn't like the shiny bling at the end of the long race? So having a trophy to win into hold. Look at everyone who did it, holding their cups. How much pride do you have when you have the, yes, look at all these cups, I love it. Look at everyone, your smiles just lit up. So giving yourself a little reward at the end of your challenge. This is huge. Like this shiny mug represents so much. Like I know when I hold it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like dream team. When I see that, I talk about all this stuff that happened on the back end between the coaches and how much we learned and grew. When all of you see your team names, like we said, and it wasn't this exact mug, but we had showed a picture of what we're gonna give everyone at the end if they made it to the end of this challenge. And so maybe you have a goal for yourself, like maybe you're getting right back to stepping back into the workout scene, right? So you have a goal, and make your goal realistic but challenging. Maybe you want to hit 10 workouts this month. Well, this month's almost over, but in February, wherever you want to start. Maybe get yourself a little prize that you can earn if you make it to that goal, right? We are humans. Oh my God, does this work with kids or what? Like we didn't change that much as we, like have a little shiny prize for yourself. Rewards, positive behaviors deserve rewards. So it doesn't go buy yourself a new workout outfit, maybe something you've wanted, and make it something that you really don't get until you earn. So your shiny mug, this was a big thing, having that trophy. And I think, are you still here, Christine? Seriously, this deserves a huge shout out. Christine, Coach Christine, throughout this challenge began designing all of our stuff for Vfit. In fact, this shirt, all of our stuff. I was about to outsource these mugs to another company, and I said, Christine, would you like to make them? Like, I'll pay you the same I would pay them. You know, I just think it'd be really special if you made them. And she totally was like, sure, I'll make them. And we went back and forth about finding the perfect mug and designing them. I mean, so much work went into just creating these mugs. And Christine, bless her heart, at one point I had to even order more mugs because my numbers were off. Like I said, I didn't expect everybody to finish pretty much. So it was Black Friday, no joke, on there was a sale, and I was like, Christine's like, we don't have enough mugs. I was like, oh my God. So I had another shipment sent to her. But Christine hand printed all of these labels, pressed them on, packaged them up, mailed them out to everybody. So I think that made it even more special. Like when you guys are holding these mugs, this didn't just come from someone willy-nilly. Like every single one had so much heart and love put into it. We put a note in it with you guys. The teams that didn't lose anyone got extra treats in theirs. And Team Inspire got a trophy mug on there. So these aren't just some mugs that anybody can get. Like these are super, super special. So that trophy, totally worth it. And it's kind of like child labor, like birth. Not child labor. We said we would never do it again. And then once we saw everyone holding them and how proud and how amazing, like, you bet we'll do it again. But we had that brief moment of like, I'm never doing this again. If you've given birth, you know what I mean. Christine's laughing right now. She's like, I don't know if I've gotten past that feeling yet, but I think she has. But every single one was like a big deal. All right, we're moving on. We're doing good. Number 8. Okay, so I kind of touched upon this, and so I'll be quick. This was one of our not shortfalls, but something we're super excited to work on is building a community, which we're really good at in the member, like the whole Vfit group. But when we group people into these smaller groups, and again, it was totally at random, how do we build communities within communities? Like, how do we empower you guys enough to step up and like be a little bit vulnerable, put yourself out there? So like I said, some groups did really good. Team Inspire did, and it could have just been random that the people that were put on that group. But again, everyone was a super random group of 15 to 16 people. Team Inspire, from the get-go, one of their members just kind of rose up as a leader in a really positive way, and they were the first team to make it to the finish line. Granted, there were 3 teams that ended without losing anybody: Team Resilience, Team Inspire, and Team Confidence, I believe it was. So hands down, all of those teams, the most any team lost was like 3 people, so it was never a big loss. But some teams, like I remember bumping into someone and she's like, I don't even know what team I'm on. So this is something we want to work on. How do we get the teams to experience that community? Because when you're grouped with 10 or 15 people, like you have a chance to really build that mastermind, that community that sometimes gets lost. Team Commit, sorry, Jessica. Jeez, Team Commit was one of the final ones. Yes. Who's in? Shout out. Who was on Team Inspire? That's here right now. I know Cardone. I saw Stacy. Yeah. Who was on Team Resilience? That was my last team. Eileen, Amanda. That was a fun. And then what was it? Team? You just told me. Team Commit. Yeah. Team Commit in the house. Yep. See a few hands going up there. Lauren, April. So. That's something that was kind of a shortfall. We want to work on developing that going forward on that team building, because like I said, that goes back to tip number 2. Like when you're part of a group that can really be there for each other, it's pretty amazing. And it wasn't like Team Inspire spent 12 hours a day like communicating with each other. It was just when they did, it was really sharp and really just on a special level. So we were inspired by Team Inspire to all get to that when we do this again. Then the next one, next tip, and this does not take to everybody. So 7 people didn't make it through the challenge, and a few of them, thank goodness, are still really part of the Vfit team. And I think that those are really special people who allow themselves that grace to maybe not be perfect, or maybe not, you know, we didn't know. That's why I said that risk, like 6 months, a lot of stuff can happen. A lot of stuff can happen totally outside of what you ever could have imagined. So some people just, you know, it's going to happen, like they weren't able to finish. And there's a few of them that have come back, made themselves part of the team, and that will be my final, I've got a really good story to tell to end this. But there were a few people that did not finish the challenge, and none of them are here, not surprisingly, that we did everything we could to try to get them through, but all of a sudden they were so hard on themselves. Like how, and so what we do is then we start to feel that shame, and we remove ourselves from the group, and then we consider that we failed, and then we cut ourselves off, and then a few of them have dropped their memberships, and again, back to that risk, everything together. I'm just being fully honest. And it was so sad to see on our side, because you guys know it's not about perfection. Like, of course, some people weren't going to make it, but if you fall down 100 times, it matters that you get up 101 times. And so to remove that feeling of kind of self-doubt or shame, or that you let people down, it's something that we can only work on personally. And it's something that like still drives me every single day. How do I get people to let themselves have some grace and to still know that they're part of the team, and that it's okay to fall down or to fail, or that if you didn't make it past month 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever, like we loved them, they're just the same. And so the people that I saw that kind of skirted off into that horizon, and there's not all of them, it was about half of that 7, so it was actually 3 or 4, they kind of just like slowly, quietly, not slowly, like just disappeared. And it was really sad, because had they just said, hey, you know, whatever reason I didn't do it, or, you know, and then there's that other couple that didn't make it that are still now totally part of our team, you know, they allow themselves that grace. And I think that's a huge, huge thing. So remember that if you don't meet a goal, or you're not always perfect, or I hate the word fail, but what do we call it, Maria? We fail forward. Like you learn something from what you're not perfect at. So don't rid yourself with shame and remove yourself from the group if you're not perfect or you don't do something correctly or what you identify as correctly. That's going to continue the habits of you not succeeding, right? So repeating the same thing over and over, removing yourself, not being part of the group, putting it all on yourself, like those are all going to get you the same results over and over of not reaching those goals. So the last thing I want to end with, and I shared this last Saturday, and it kind of piggybacks off of number 9, is Heather's story. And just the whole point of the story is that sometimes it takes more than yourself, more than what you have in you at the time, that you need to allow others to push you up, to just get you back on your feet, to get you back started, to trust in you and to believe in you maybe more than you believe in yourself at the time. Because sometimes life's going to hit us really hard and out of the blue, and when we have everything in control and everything going. And this story is about my neighbor, Heather, who was on Team Determined. And they were one of the teams that had not lost a single person going into December, I don't think Heather's here right now. Going into December. It was at the beginning of December, and Heather was on track. She was 4 classes away from her mug. And all of a sudden, she's a mom of 4. Her baby, he was 5 or 6 months old. All of a sudden, like, they went to a doctor's appointment in Mammoth, and they were told they need to get down to Children's Hospital in LA. They didn't know what was going on. So here she found herself for the next 2 weeks in December at Children's Hospital in LA with her little baby. Meanwhile, her 3 other kids are up here being kind of shuffled around. We had them sometimes other friends. Her husband's going back and forth. I mean, basically her whole life just got uprooted. And she did. She tried to log in a couple times from the hospital, but you know, doctors are coming in and out, and they're home. Everyone's healthy. Everything's safe. But she came home like December 20th or something, and she went to her team and she said, "You guys, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make it to the end. I tried all these." She explained her whole story, what was going on. And she told me, she's like, "I thought my team was going to get so mad and so upset with me. And here we were about to cross the finish line together. And you know what they did? Because this is the way this community is at Vfit. They said, we don't care that we're not perfect, Heather. We want you and your family to be healthy and safe. And you can come back." And everybody came in with just the most positive of things to say to her, because they really, I mean, that wasn't the point of the challenge. So what happened, Christine, all the trainers were like, let's let Heather earn her mug. She stepped up to the plate. She wanted it. So when Christine sent me the mugs, Heather's came, and if you guys saw, they all were labeled with everybody's name. Christine had to figure out everybody's team. I mean, that production, I'm still going to talk about it. So here I had Heather's mug mailed to my house, and I took a picture of it, and I texted it to her. And I said, "Heather, I got your mug. When you get 4 more classes in, I'll come deliver it to you." This was on January, I don't know, 12th or something. Sure enough, that was enough. Someone to believe in her, her teammates there that forgave her and still pushed her up, and then my gentle little nice nudge for her to still earn that mug. She did it in that week. She's been on fire ever since. She's got her groove back, and she was so proud to earn that mug. And so the point of that one is letting other people sometimes lift you up, push you up, believe in you when you need it more. And so those are my top 10 lessons through this journey, and it was such a powerful thing. We will definitely be doing it again July 1st, so mark your calendars. I'm sure there'll be some changes between then and now. What I between now and then, something super exciting, because as we saw, all of those things I talked about, team, coaches, writing your goals, like some of us are finding, I'm doing actually okay, but I can feel I've slipped a little bit. Like we're missing some of that magic. So what we're gonna do, this is a brand new announcement, and the trainer team, again, this was a collaboration of everybody. We are going to do a 100-day challenge beginning on February 14th. The actual details will come out soon, this next week. You are going to be grouped. We're going to do it a little differently. Again, we're really working on that community building. You are going to be grouped this time demographically. So you're more likely to be in classes with people in your same area, your same time zones. Some of you might actually be able to get together in real life when you're grouped with those people. So obviously they'll probably be an Eastern Sierra group, a Bay Area, a Pacific Northwest, a East Coast. We've got a huge Virginia, Maryland, Delaware area. So depending who signs up, again, all the details are coming. The prize, and Christine has already committed to this, you guys. She came out of her post having birth memory thing. You are all, and it's not going to be this exact one, the prize for this challenge, the most amazing long sleeve shirt. Look at a bunch of us have it on. The most amazing long sleeve shirt in the world. And it will say, we're still designing it, 100-day challenge, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? You'll just want that shiny prize, believe me. Again, you don't always have to have all the details set to make it happen. But this 100-day challenge, it is, you know, we're going to ask a little bit more. That's one thing we ended up doing a lot of almost personal coaching, which was amazing. But this challenge, I think, is going to be a little bit smaller. I call it off-season training. So if you know that, like, I really need that extra help, I need that team, I need that coach, I need that written accountability, like, think about this challenge and sign yourself up for it once it's available. But if you're like, I'm good, I'm going to skirt until the July 1 and then do it for the second half of the year, we'll do that again in July. And how am I? Let's see. Oh man, I can't do anything under 30 minutes talking wise. All right, we're done now. 32 minutes. Let's make a toast to everyone here. I am going to take you off mute. And everyone who hadn't done the challenge, here's a toast to you joining the magic of this. You still haven't, Eva, Christine filled out the customs form and everything. Whether you have a mug or not, everybody raise something. Look at, there's 30 of you here. To this amazing team, giving ourselves to having fun and all the awesomeness. Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Look at shine those mugs proudly.
This is where we're going about our thing, and then she's
All right.
asking you, where are you?
Oh, look at all the kids. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me.
I like to you want to show us?
Go.
All right, hopefully everybody and inspiration, right? That's what we can never fill up too much on it. Keep drinking the inspo juice. It's good stuff. And these cups hold wine, champagne, coffee, tea, water. They are very well versed for any beverage you would like to put in them. So awesome team. We can't wait for the next challenge. And tomorrow's Super Saturday. And join Lindsay at 12:05 Upper Body Express. If you are arms like Lindsay, holy cow. I guess that's the class to be at. Bye.
Thank you.